Well, no matter what we look at it, the Lakers are in a bit of a funk right now. In their past 10 games, they're now 4-6, definitely not looking like the team they were prior to that point, struggling offensively, not playing committed, hard defense like they were up until that point, and really not looking like themselves on either end of the court. Though on the other hand here, in their past 13 days, they have played 9 games. That's quite a handful, and it might be a product of overload here. Not to mention guys like Rui Hachimura playing through injury, LeBron playing through injury, probably not fully healthy yet, along with other various injuries along the way. They are going through a lot in regard to health, trying to manage a lot, and not to mention playing some difficult, hard-fought games in that time frame. But at the end of the day here, no one's gonna feel sorry for them. Doesn't matter if they have 15 guys available, 8 available, doesn't matter. No one's gonna feel bad for them. They gotta play through it and find a way to get back on track here and finally start to play a full 48-minute game again. Which, if you ask Luka Doncic, that'll be directly what he points to, and literally what he did point to the other night. Following their devastating defeat to Chicago, a question a reporter asked Luka was how they get back on track and what they gotta do to get to that point. And Luka talked about them playing a full 48-minute game, not putting a good first half and second half together, combining both offense and defense, and getting back to the team they were up until this bad stretch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think, our third quarter weren't good. So today, I think we had to show that our third quarter needs to be better. But then we relaxed in the fourth quarter. So we just got to play the game for 48 minutes. If we play all 48 minutes with the same energy, we're hard to beat.
Luka, what did you see defensively in the second and third quarter that was working for you guys? It felt like that was the best defensive stretch you guys have had in several games.
Yeah, I think third quarter was our best defensive quarter. Just everybody was flying around, everybody with a lot of energy. And like I said, we need to play 48 minutes like that.
It still hasn't been a lot of games with you, Austin, and LeBron on the floor together. You've talked about how important it is for you guys to find your collective rhythm for the team to play at his best offensively. I guess, was there encouragements that you could take from tonight, especially with Austin being able to go off the way he did, getting 30 and even getting the go-ahead bucket before he hit his shot?
Yeah, I mean, he's great every game. Just we gotta figure out how to play all three together. And you guys ask me this question every game after every game, but we're just trying to figure out. We don't have a lot of practice, but I think it's coming.
I mean, there's really no other way to put it. The Lakers simply have not played a full 48-minute game in quite some time now, which has turned into a very bad habit for them. They might play well during the first half or in one quarter of the first half, but then after that point completely fall apart, which has often been the case for them. The third quarter in particular has been awful for them. Apart from their last game in Chicago, that does tend to be where they fall apart, and then often don't play well during the fourth quarter either. And well, if you play well in 1 or 2 quarters, but then not too well in the other 2 or 3, then you're probably not going to win many games, which has been the case for them lately, and in some truly devastating fashion at that. And don't take it from me, take it directly from the numbers here. If we go quarter by quarter, and not only in their past 5 games or past 10 games, but even dating back to Luka Doncic's debut, all the way back from February 10th, which is now a 23-game sample, them going 13-10 in that time frame, which although is pretty good, it does vary by quarter and very greatly by quarter at that. During the first quarter, they have actually been very good, actually being the second best team in the entire league in that time frame in the first quarter, having a plus 19.1 net rating, very good and absolutely elite at that, carrying an offensive rating of 123.2, a defensive rating of 104.2, both of which are top 5 in the entire league, and definitely coming out of the game hot, averaging about 35 points per game in the first quarter since that time, not to mention shooting the ball extremely well, being a top 5 3-point shooting team in that time frame, passing the ball well, not turning the ball over that much, and again, simply playing great in the first quarter. However, that does begin to change during the second quarter. Not too much and still playing okay, but definitely a fall off here. From that plus 19 net rating down to a plus 1 net rating, the 13th best in the league in that time frame. So still not bad, slightly above average, but definitely not the same in the first quarter, a massive fall off, having an offensive rating of 114.1, a defensive rating of 113.1, and again a net rating of plus 1. So again, not bad, and this is not the bad part. It only starts at the third quarter, which turns into a truly terrible part for them. At that point, they have a net rating of negative 13.1, the 4th worst in the entire league in that time frame, and by far the worst quarter for them in any quarter. Not only by net rating, which is truly awful. If you have a negative 10 plus net rating, then yeah, you're not playing too good. But then defensively, having a 119.2 defensive rating, that's not even the bad part, even though it is bottom 8 in the entire league. Offensively, having a 106.5 offensive rating, bottom 3 in the entire league, and really nothing getting going for them. That's even with their starting lineup together on the court. They're not shooting well, turning the ball over way too much, committing their most turnovers of the game in any quarter, and then simply are not connected on the court, neither offensively or defensively either. And well, you would think that a team with both Luka Doncic and LeBron James in the court in the 4th quarter would be a pretty damn good team, but unfortunately for them, that has not been the case so far. Since February 10th, they have had a net rating of negative 5.8 in the 4th quarter, rating 21st in the NBA, a defensive rating of 117.3, bottom 10 in the NBA, an offensive rating of 111.5, bottom 8 in the NBA, and that was especially bad and really confusing for a team with Luka Doncic and LeBron in the 4th quarter. You would think they'd execute pretty well, and between the two of them, have a very good offensive team in the 4th quarter. Even if their defense might not be that great, you would think they'd be good offensively, but that's not been the case so far for them. And well, putting that all together, they're simply not playing a full 48-minute game out there. No, I'm not expecting them to be perfect for 48 minutes, that's obviously not fair and no team can do that. But they're not playing even a full half, playing good in the 1st quarter, slightly above average in the 2nd quarter, then terrible in the 3rd quarter, and below average in the 4th quarter as well. So even the occasional switch up between that, like in their last game playing well in the 3rd quarter, but then having an awful 4th quarter, and not starting out the game that well, they're not putting even 3 quarters together, and having 2 or more bad quarters pretty much every game. Even with 1 great quarter, they can't make up for that. In my opinion, that's by far their biggest problem and the number one thing holding their team back right now. I mean, simply put, you're not going to win many games if you're not playing a full game, let alone even a half game or barely over a half game, and that's currently what they're doing right now. But even apart from that, they do have other problems, and the one directly after that is the balance and timeshare between Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, which they have yet to figure out. Early on, they found a good balance between Luka and LeBron, but kind of excluding Austin Reeves. In that time frame and up until LeBron got hurt on March 9th, LeBron was averaging about 27 points per game on very efficient shooting, along with Luka averaging about 25 points per game, figuring it out and having a good balance between those two, but Austin Reeves kind of struggling, only averaging about 17 points per game on some underwhelming shooting efficiency from him, only about 40% from the field and 35% from 3. But after LeBron got hurt, those two figured it out and Austin began playing a whole lot better and finding a good balance between him and Luka Doncic. After LeBron got hurt, Luka's been averaging about 31 points per game on 43% shooting from 3. Then with Austin averaging about 26 points per game, those two combining for over 55 points per game, Austin shooting about 51% from the field and 34% from 3. Definitely a good combo between them and oftentimes been carrying the team for them. And then for LeBron only averaging about 17 points per game on a rather lackluster 42% from the field and a paltry 7.7% from beyond the arc. Now we're only looking at 4 games here and I'm definitely not worried about him, but what I am worried about is the balance between them. They have yet to figure it out, have yet to have a game where all 3 of them really play very well and really click together on the court, and that's definitely a problem that they have yet to figure out with very limited time remaining. And with all of that being said here, I think Luka put it perfectly. Their current problems are obviously not playing a full 48-minute game, either offensively or defensively, not putting that together, and then the combination of Luka, Austin, and LeBron yet to be clicking on the court. So with that in mind here, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Lakers' problems and how would they go about correcting them, or how should they go about correcting them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.